the subtle bias is rooted in the deepest level of our mind's pattern, right? The dualism. Okay, the dualism, the split between I and you, the separation mentality, And fundamentally speaking, I think it's basically what Buddha taught as the habitual mind or tendencies that we have been conditioned with, And so at a basic level, we could say, this is unconscious bias, which takes place at the alaya vijnana, or the eighth consciousness level. Sorry if I'm being too technical here, okay? Sorry, my training just goes there naturally. And so in this sense of, like unconscious bias is a normal human consciousness, normal, it's normal. But understanding this and finding a way to transform it, is crucial for us to find the right balance that will lead us to greater positivity, joy, and freedom. Okay? So if you look at this a little deeper, okay, I'm going to look a little bit deeper here. Because of the subtle pattern of I, right? Subtle pattern or clinging of I or me, which may seem very natural and innocent sometimes, then we produce groups of patterns, right? Groups of patterns such as us and them, right? Or the notion of ourselves and others. And so we need to see this clearly and break the chain of negative bias pattern that we can see here at a very deep level of human consciousness, And so what can we do with this subtle pattern, and how can we change it? The first thing, according to Buddha's teaching, first thing that's really the most important is self-awareness. It's important and it's really, really necessary for us to develop a better sense of self-awareness, knowing our own deeper level of this sense of our own pattern, individual pattern. There are subtle patterns. Coarse patterns are easy to see, but the subtle pattern, it's harder to see, so you need stronger self-awareness. And for that, we must acquire tools, tools that can help us to become more aware of, one's own biases as well as others, So that's why I think the first thing is self-awareness. That's important here. And the second thing is acknowledgement. Once we have this sense of self-awareness and reflection and see our own, see our own the bias habits of duality, then we must recognize it, accept it, and acknowledge it, right? We have to acknowledge it. So what is our subtle bias individually, right? We have to see it first, acknowledge it. And when does it come up, right? In what environment it comes up? And how does it come? So we have to acknowledge that first, right? And see it clearly. And the third thing, after that, then we must have this sense of, a heart of determination to change. We have to be decisive in our heart that we want to make changes to this subtle bias or pattern that we don't even notice usually, but continuing, going on with it for years, right? And so after we see it and acknowledge it, we must find this sense of strength and courage to determine to change it. And so therefore we have to be clear and make up our mind to make this change, you know. Like Gandhi said, be the change. What is it? Be the change.
Wish to see in the world.
Yeah, be the change that you wish to see in the world, right? We change our own bias and pointing our finger at somebody, it doesn't really make the world any better, you know. So we got to change. And so with that determination, finally, then we must individually challenge our own bias by ourselves. Don't wait until somebody else challenges you. You know, that's too late. That's not really changing. And so we must challenge our own bias.